because of what was there. It was unbelievable. It was so impressive. I had a long talk with Kevin Carter, and Kevin's comment, and I agree, every American should be required to go to this game. You could never get a ticket, first of all.
Right.
But when you see, the entire, well, it's not the entire class, because I don't know who's on the field marching and who's in the stands screaming. That's how many are there. I posted some photos. What appeared to be the entire lower 100 level was Army on one side, Navy on other in uniforms. Except for when Rob Gronkowski jumped in the stands. That was a little different. So I'll tell the story quickly. Unbelievable. Both teams not very good. What I thought was a bad coaching decision by Navy to go for 2. Then they get stopped at the 1-inch line, et cetera, et cetera. But how our weekend ended should put the entire perspective of life in the fact that all of those people that played in that game, that sat in those stands, have signed a document willing to die for this country, as Ron, you and I did as well, to defend this country. And, we all take that for granted. It's no big deal. You don't think about it. So then Steve and I get on our plane, our private plane. No, it wasn't. It was Delta. And I saw it right away. You would have to be military to understand. When they went to announce it, I asked Steve, hey, did you notice when they walked on? And he said, no. And Ron, I told you off the air, I understand if people don't get it. 2 fully dressed uniform military personnel walked on the plane carrying a folded flag, in the little pouch and the whole 9 yards. So what's the first thing you think of when you would see that?
Yeah, well, that someone had, it was a
remains,
body.
Right.
Yeah.
A body or remains. And just as we were ready to land, the pilot came on and said that they were given the honor. And this is a crappy story because what it means is that there's a body on this plane. But that's what should put life in perspective, the Army-Navy game in perspective. There was almost some fist fights on the field between the 2 teams, but when it's all said and done, and Matt, you know how I treat Ron the same way. It's a shame that he didn't go in the military. He went in the Army. When all of that is said and done, I hate that word brother, especially after some things that you and I have ran into, but it is a brother. Even the Coast Guard, which definitely isn't military, the Air Force, which shouldn't be military, but when it's all said and done, they all are military, and it's all in good fun. But the good fun ends when there is a body or there's a remains on a plane that's being brought back, for their final resting place. So that's my Army-Navy. I'm sorry, that's my Navy-Army story.
See, you'll even get chippy with something like a story that is an emotional story, and then you want to make a point.
Well, the point is, I'm a proud Navy, of course. Why is what? And you're a proud Army. I get that. Captain Kelly is a proud. He's one of the few people that doesn't care who wins, because he was in both. So he wins no matter what, but of course he loses no matter what as well. Yeah. So there you have it. That's my story, Matt, and I'm sticking to it.